Hi there, my name is JoeDavault. I'm a student at BootCamp. I recently completed the Front-End Web and Mobile Developer Bootcamp, and today I'm going to take 5 minutes to go over my graduation project. There's 3 sections we're going to cover as we go over this project. The project goals, technologies used, and some of the challenges I faced. Really, I just had two main goals. One was to be contemporary. Today, a lot of most React, is more functional based and hooks, not so much classes. So it was important to me that this project not use any classes or lifecycle methods, that it use state, use context, use effect. And even in my Redux, I don't have any map state to props or map dispatch to props. I have the use selector and use dispatch. I also liked the React Navigator 5 because it was component based and was cleaner. And so I decided to use that instead of the React 4 that we used in class. And finally, when I use mobile apps today and I look at my phone, the main navigation is really the tab navigator at the bottom, and occasionally there's a flyout or a drawer navigation for different things. So I wanted to, in class we had a bottom nav, but it was really more just buttons on a page. It wasn't really the main navigation. So I kind of wanted to build an app that looked more like the apps that I'm used to using. As far as the technologies used, I mentioned some of them, but functional components, hooks, React Navigation 5, flat list for rendering my data or iterating and rendering my data. I have scroll list, extensive use of style sheets. I'm using Redux with hooks. I have custom fonts and icons with something called the React Native Vector library, which features Material UI and typo and feather icons. It's pretty cool. In fact, there's a hamburger icon that uses feather. It looks really nice. As far as the challenges, it wasn't straightforward how to convert from the match dispatch to props and match state to props over to the use selector and use dispatch, but it also wasn't that difficult. So I figured that out, and that's working. And the other one was the stacks. I have a set of pages in the app, and it's part of my stack, and I wanted to be able to use my tab navigator as well as my drawer equally with the same stack. So took a second to figure that out, but it's working now. I also wanted an image background for the drawer, and had to look up how to do that. It wasn't working at first, or it looked really bad. And then probably the most daunting task was, if you look at the data over here, originally I was using this data and it has this look and feel, and when it's remote or when it's local, React knows the location and it works fine. But when you start pulling it from a remote server, then that require thing falls apart and it doesn't work. And so I had to use something called an image collection right here, which lets me dynamically use a key to pull the image. And so when it's local to the app, React knows where this thing is located, so it's able to use it. So that was a bit interesting to figure out. So without further ado, let's get to the code. Like any good React application, we start off in the app folder. I don't have any code in here, just an imported providers component. Inside the providers component, I have 2 providers. One is Redux, the other one is an auth provider. The reason I have an auth provider is I want to be logged in at times and not logged in. So you can see here, if I am logged in, we'll show the main screen. If I log out, then you get this. If I type in the wrong password, it says, hey, you're not that guy. So if I type in, and it's logged in. Okay, going to the, let's go to the main page, or the home page, which is the main page. And here I have a flat list. Well, first, you can see here, I was using local data, and then when I switched to pulling it from a JSON server, I ran into that image issue I explained. I'll show you that here in a second. Here's that coffee images that I use. So each one of these, like here, these are the render discover items. Here's the render item that does that. And here you can see this is how I'm pulling the image in dynamically. I'm doing the same thing on all 3 flat list. Here's the other one, the render types. Again, I'm using a flat list. And this is how I was pulling it in before. This is how I'm pulling it in now. The cool thing about using this approach with the navigation is you can see here I'm passing in the whole item down to the details page. So here's the detail page, and you can see here's all the detail gets passed down. And again, down here I have to use that images library again, or collection, and this is the way I access it. And on every page I have extensive use of style sheets. And really that's about it. That's the end of our 5 minutes. I will have this code on GitHub if you want to look at it. If you have any questions, you can also email me. Here is the drawer navigator. here it, these two pages are just kind of placeholders for now, but you can get to them from either navigator. Yep, I guess that is really about it. Log back out. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and have a great day.